do as many hands-on activities and
That's a great
as
one.
many multi-sensory activities as
Mm,
possible. I think sometimes as adults we forget that the way we learn things is by doing them, right? I
yes.
even, when I got out of graduate school, as soon as I started actually treating students,
Mm-hmm.
I learned so much faster than just sitting in a classroom, or watching
Right.
someone else do it. So if you kind of think about
Mm-hmm.
how much that makes a difference for your learning experience, it's more enjoyable, but it's also
Right.
just
Uh-huh.
going to create a better memory for that
Mm-hmm.
concept.
Yeah.
So I try to bring in, at the very least, some type of visual that can really help with students who have working memory issues. If you
Mm.
think about how much work our brain has to do when we're working on something we struggle with, I think about this because I had to spend many years with math tutoring. That was something that was really
Mm.
hard for my brain, and I
Mm-hmm.
got it, but I needed lots of help with it. And if I couldn't have a visual, I would be lost because I just couldn't
Right.
hold those concepts in my mind. And so
Mm-hmm.
having something written or a picture can really help our brains to grasp a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also can bring in hearing something, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
um, talked about um, talking with your kids. So listening is practice. Okay, so we tend not to
Yeah.
think it is. We want kids to answer lots of questions out loud, but
Mm.
just having them listen and being engaged is going
Mm-hmm.
to help their brains to practice. So if we have them listening, if we have them with a visual, if we have them talking about it, if we have them touching something or moving something, that can really
Mm.
help them get engaged. If they don't like to write, so if they have dysgraphia or they're just, they're working on their fine motor skills and they're just struggling,
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
have them move something. So, like when I'm having kids spell, instead of having them write the letters, I might have letter tiles and they can move those around.
Oh yeah.
That's going to
Mm-hmm.
get them a lot more engaged than if they're just watching me move them around, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Good
having them
point.
draw or write, I have kids that hate writing and spelling, but they love to draw. And
Hmm.
so, if you can get something involving that, that can really help.
Good.
Anytime you have a science experiment, do something hands-on, do something that they can see. And that
Mm-hmm.
will just really draw them in and help them create that memory and have
Mm-hmm.
fun with it. Having fun with
Yes.
it helps
Yeah.
everybody. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, we found that, just those visuals, if you just,
mhm,
leave them up in your homeschool room, every time your child walks through that space, they connect again with that same
exactly.
image and they continue learning even if you're not there. And
Hmm.
just the convenience of having that right in your home as you homeschool. And we forget that that's, an added bonus. That at
Hmm.
school, they would just leave those things at school or
Exactly.
they'd be in a folder somewhere. You just stick them on the wall. Because my
Hmm.
kids even came back to me, oh yeah, I remember because I always looked at that. And
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh, okay, that was effective.
Yeah, that's a really good point, that leaving them up where kids can see them all the time, especially for those really basic things that you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to get into their minds. That's that kind of repetition of
Yeah.
that concept. And then, I constantly look things up on the internet just to get a picture of something to show a
Mm-hmm.
student that they
Mm-hmm.
say, "What is that?" And I show them a picture and they're like, "Oh, I know what that is. I've seen that before." But they didn't know the
Ah,
word for it. And so really making
right.
those connections.
Mm-hmm.